You won't believe how the $315 million Lotto Strip Club winner's life turned upside down in the most tragic way possible. But what led to such a dramatic fall from grace? Stick around as we uncover the shocking details. Rise to fame. Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr. emerged into the public eye in an extraordinary way in 2002 when he won an incredible $314.9 million in the Powerball lottery. At the time, this staggering amount set a new record as the largest jackpot ever claimed by a single lottery ticket in the history of the American lottery system. His unprecedented lottery success catapulted him into a realm of wealth that few ever achieve. This remarkable win changed his life and made headlines across the country, putting him in the spotlight and bringing public attention to his every move. Before this monumental win, Whitaker was already a well-established figure in the construction industry. As a Putnam County, West Virginia resident, he ran a successful construction business named Diversified Enterprises Construction. His role as this company's president over 12 years had already earned him significant wealth and respect in the industry. His company was known for its efficiency and excellence, contributing significantly to infrastructure and development projects in the area. Whitaker's business acumen and leadership helped him amass a net worth exceeding $17 million, a testament to his skill and dedication to the field. Beyond his business successes, Whitaker was also recognized for his involvement in local community initiatives, often contributing to and participating in civic projects. His reputation as a reliable and successful businessman was well established in his community long before his lottery win, making him a respected figure in business circles and among his peers and neighbors. The story of how Whitaker won the lottery is almost as remarkable as the win itself. On Christmas Eve 2002, he stopped at a Hurricane, West Virginia supermarket. This routine stop for a breakfast sandwich and fuel led to a life-altering decision. Drawn by the high jackpot, Whitaker, who was not a habitual lottery player, purchased $100 in lottery tickets on a whim. This spontaneous decision, spurred by the unusually large jackpot amount, resulted in him holding the winning ticket, a chance occurrence that would forever change the trajectory of his life. The win was even more extraordinary considering that Whitaker chose the numbers at random, a departure from the strategies employed by regular lottery players. His winning moment was a confluence of luck and serendipity, contrasting sharply with his methodical approach to a successful construction business. This moment marked a significant turning point in Whitaker's life. The purchase of those tickets, a deviation from his usual routine, would soon catapult him into a new realm of wealth and public attention, far beyond what his successful business career had already brought him. It set the stage for an extraordinary series of events defining the next chapters of his life. The moment Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr. discovered he won the Powerball lottery in 2002, it marked the beginning of a new era in his life. His winning ticket, worth a staggering $314.9 million, was the largest jackpot ever won by a single ticket in American lottery history at the time. Faced with the decision of how to receive his winnings, Whitaker chose the lump sum cash option over the annuity. This meant that after taxes, he received $113,386,407. His choice reflected a desire for immediate control over the vast fortune, a decision that would greatly influence his future endeavors and lifestyle. Whitaker's initial reactions to his win were a mix of astonishment and thoughtful planning. Despite his already substantial wealth, this windfall was an unprecedented addition to his fortune. He approached this newfound wealth with a sense of responsibility and a desire to give back to his community. True to his character, Whitaker used a significant portion of his winnings for charitable purposes. One of his first acts of generosity was pledging 10% of his winnings to various Christian charities, especially those in southern West Virginia. This substantial donation reflected his commitment to his faith and his desire to impact his community positively. Whitaker's philanthropic efforts continued further. He established the Jack Whitaker Foundation, a charitable organization dedicated to supporting the less fortunate. The foundation focused on helping low-income families in rural areas by providing essential items like food and clothing. It was a direct way for Whitaker to use his fortune to help those in need. Additionally, Whitaker's generosity extended to individuals who played a role in his lottery win. Notably, he gifted the deli manager of the store where he bought the winning ticket a house, a new vehicle, and a cash sum. This act of kindness allowed him to share his good fortune with those who were part of his life-changing moment. The turning point. Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr.'s life post-lottery win wasn't just a story of newfound wealth and generosity. It soon turned into a series of unfortunate events, signaling the beginning of a troublesome period. The most significant of these troubles were the incidents of theft that Whitaker encountered, which served as a stark reminder of the potential pitfalls of sudden wealth. One of the most notable incidents occurred in August 2003, less than a year after Whitaker won the lottery. He faced a significant loss when thieves broke into his car while it was parked at a strip club in Cross Lanes, West Virginia. In a brazen act, the thieves made away with a suitcase containing over $500,000 in cash. This incident was particularly shocking and garnered widespread media attention. It also revealed Whitaker's strange practice of carrying large sums of money with him, a habit that made him an easy target for criminals. This robbery at the strip club was not an isolated incident, but rather the start of a series of thefts that Whitaker would experience. The fact that he carried such large amounts of cash regularly became well known, making him a target for further thefts. The incident at the strip club was a severe blow to Whitaker, not just financially, but also in terms of his personal sense of security and privacy. The strip club robbery marked a turning point in Whitaker's post-lottery life. It began a series of events, eventually leading to more serious legal and personal issues. The incident shed light on the challenges and dangers accompanying sudden wealth, particularly when it drastically changes lifestyle and public profile. For Whitaker, the theft was a harsh introduction to the downside of his lottery win, hinting at the complex and often troubled path that lay ahead. One of the most heart-wrenching incidents occurred on September 16, 2004, when Jesse Tribble, the boyfriend of Whitaker's granddaughter Brandy Bragg, was found dead. Only 18 years old, Tribble was discovered in Whitaker's Tees Valley, West Virginia home. The cause of death was reported as an overdose, a tragic end to a young life, and an incident that deeply affected the family. This tragedy was a stark reminder of the unforeseen consequences that sudden wealth can bring, as it shone a spotlight on the challenges and pressures faced by Whitaker's family in the wake of his lottery win. The incident added to the series of misfortunes that seemed to follow Whitaker's lottery win, casting a shadow over the fortune that had promised so much joy and prosperity. However, the family's ordeal was far from over. In a devastating turn of events, on December 20, 2004, Whitaker's own granddaughter, Brandy Bragg, was found dead under mysterious circumstances. Her body was discovered behind a junked van, and the cause of her death remained undetermined. Reports noted the presence of substances like cocaine and methadone in her system, but these details did not provide a complete picture of the events leading to her untimely demise. These consecutive tragedies involving young people close to Whitaker were not only personal blows, but also brought a wave of media attention and public speculation. The deaths raised questions and concerns about the impact of Whitaker's lottery win on his family dynamics and the environment surrounding them. The incidents painted a grim picture, overshadowing the earlier narrative of a lucky lottery winner. The passing of his granddaughter in particular was a significant blow to Whitaker, for whom the family had always been a cornerstone of his life. The loss was made worse by the mysterious nature of the circumstances, leaving more questions than answers and adding to the emotional burden he carried. These personal tragedies starkly contrasted the earlier phase of Whitaker's life post-lottery win, revealing a more complex and somber aspect of his journey. Legal problems. It wasn't just personal tragedies that marred Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr.'s post-lottery life. A series of legal and financial challenges further complicated his situation. Following the euphoria of his lottery win, Whitaker found himself embroiled in various legal issues that painted a picture of a man struggling to manage his newfound wealth and the responsibilities that came with it. One of the first legal issues that Whitaker encountered was a charge of driving under the influence, or DUI. This incident was a significant departure from his previously law-abiding life and signaled a potential unraveling in the face of overwhelming changes. The DUI charge not only brought legal trouble but also public scrutiny, casting a shadow on his reputation. The legal troubles extended beyond personal conduct. Whitaker faced a series of lawsuits that further drained his finances and public image. One notable legal battle involved Caesars Atlantic City Casino. Whitaker was sued for bouncing checks worth $1.5 million intended to cover gambling losses. This incident highlighted a reckless side of Whitaker's spending habits post-win and exposed him to serious financial and legal repercussions. In response to the lawsuit from Caesars Atlantic City, Whitaker filed a counter-lawsuit. He claimed that the casino owed him money, which reflected the increasingly complicated and contentious nature of his financial dealings. This legal back and forth indicated the complex web of financial issues Whitaker was entangled in, which contrasted sharply with his earlier philanthropic and generous actions. Furthermore, Whitaker's financial problems were compounded in January 2007, when it was alleged that a significant portion of his money had been stolen. These legal and financial issues painted a picture of a downward spiral for Whitaker as he grappled with a series of problems that seemed to stem from his lottery win. His life post-lottery win, once seen as a dream come true, had evolved into a complex narrative of legal battles, financial woes, and personal struggles, starkly contrasting with the initial joy of his windfall. In addition to the legal battles and financial issues, Whitaker faced further misfortunes that added to his woes. These included more legal troubles, which seemed to be a persistent theme in his life following the lottery win. He found himself entangled in various legal proceedings, which drained his financial resources and took a significant emotional toll. Amidst these legal entanglements, Whitaker suffered a profound personal tragedy: the death of his daughter, Ginger Whitaker Bragg. Her passing in 2009 was another devastating blow to Whitaker, who had already endured the loss of his granddaughter. The death of his daughter added a layer of profound grief and sorrow to Whitaker's already troubled life. This loss wasn't just a personal blow, but also a public one, as it became another chapter in the series of unfortunate events that had come to define his post-lottery life. The combination of ongoing legal troubles and the loss of his daughter painted a picture of a man struggling to find peace and stability in the wake of his lottery win. Whitaker's story, which had begun with such promise and excitement, had taken a series of dark and unexpected turns. The continued misfortune served as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of life and the challenges that can come with sudden wealth and fame. Whitaker's experience, marked by legal battles and personal tragedies, is a cautionary tale about the complexities and unforeseen consequences of a life dramatically altered by a sudden windfall. His journey illustrates that wealth, no matter how vast, cannot shield one from the trials and tribulations of life. The house fire. Another one of the most catastrophic events in the life of Whitaker Jr. was the fire incident at his home in Bland County. This particular tragedy not only represented a substantial material loss, but also symbolized the continued downward spiral of his post-lottery life. Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr.'s series of misfortunes following his incredible lottery win culminated in a devastating event in late 2016. In a turn of events that seemed almost symbolic of his post-lottery life struggles, Whitaker's home in Bland County was tragically consumed by fire. This incident signified a substantial material loss and became a poignant metaphor for the unpredictability and adversity he faced since winning the lottery. A fire broke out on December 2, 2016, at Whitaker's residence. By the time the emergency services arrived, the fire had fully engulfed the house. Despite the best efforts of the firefighters, the home was completely destroyed. The situation was exacerbated by the fact that Whitaker had not insured the property, a decision that would lead to significant financial implications. When the fire started, his wife was present in the home, but fortunately escaped without injury. However, the loss of the house and its contents was total, leaving nothing salvageable. This fire incident in Bland County was not just a loss in terms of property and possessions. For Whitaker, it represented another crushing blow in a series of unfortunate events that had marred his life since the lottery win. Compounding the tragedy of the fire was the revelation that the home was not insured. This lack of insurance meant that Whitaker faced the full financial burden of the loss, a significant setback given the already complex financial and legal issues he was dealing with. The loss of the home was not just a financial blow, but also a deeply emotional one, as it was a place of personal significance and memories for Whitaker and his family. The fire incident in Bland County was a stark reminder of the unpredictability and fragility of life, even for someone who had experienced the heights of lottery success. For Whitaker, this event was another in a series of unfortunate occurrences that followed his lottery win, each adding to the narrative of a life that had dramatically shifted from extraordinary fortune to a series of challenging and often tragic circumstances. This incident and the other trials Whitaker faced painted a picture of a man struggling to navigate a series of adverse events. The fire, with its total destruction of his uninsured home, was a poignant representation of the series of material and personal losses that Whitaker experienced in the years following his lottery win. It served as a reminder that despite immense wealth, one is not immune to the trials and tribulations that life can bring. The destruction of his home was a significant event, underscoring the series of adversities that had befallen Whitaker. It was a physical manifestation of the turmoil that engulfed his life post-lottery win, a period marked by legal troubles, personal tragedies, and financial difficulties. The fire and the total loss of his uninsured home were emblematic of the challenges and unpredictability accompanying sudden fortune. For Whitaker, it was yet another chapter in a story that had shifted from a dream come true to a series of relentless challenges. Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr.'s life journey, marked by extraordinary highs and profound lows, came to a solemn end in 2020. After facing a long illness, Whitaker passed away, closing the chapter on a life that had captivated public attention since his record-breaking lottery win in 2002. His passing marked the end of an individual's life and the conclusion of a story that had seen dramatic shifts in fortune, from immense wealth to a series of personal and financial struggles. Whitaker's death in 2020 was the final turn in a journey that had been as turbulent as it was remarkable. The years following his lottery win were filled with a mix of generosity, legal battles, personal tragedies, and financial troubles. His life post-lottery win was a stark reminder of the unpredictability of fate and the complex impact of sudden wealth. From the initial joy and excitement of winning the largest jackpot by a single ticket in American lottery history, his life had evolved into a narrative marked by challenges and adversity. Throughout his post-lottery years, Whitaker faced numerous struggles that were widely publicized, including thefts, legal issues, and the tragic loss of family members. These events, combined with the pressures of newfound fame and wealth, took a toll on his personal and financial well-being. Despite the initial promise of a better life that the lottery win seemed to offer, Whitaker's story highlighted the potential downsides of sudden fortune. The public received the news of Whitaker's passing with a sense of poignancy. His story had been one of great interest and speculation, and his death marked the end of a saga that had been followed by many. It served as a somber reflection of the complexities of life and the unforeseen consequences that can accompany great fortune. His passing in 2020 after a prolonged illness brought an end to a life that had experienced the extremes of both luck and misfortune, leaving behind a legacy that continues to evoke discussions on the impact of sudden wealth and the unpredictability of life's journey. Whitaker's death brought closure to a life characterized by its dramatic highs and lows. From the days of his lottery win to the numerous challenges that followed, his journey was a complex mix of triumph and tragedy. Despite the initial happiness and promise from his lottery win, Whitaker's later years were marred by personal losses, legal battles, and financial woes. The tale of Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr. is a reminder that even the greatest fortunes can lead to unforeseen challenges and personal tragedies. His journey is a somber reflection on the unpredictability of life.